Okay. Hello, Alfonso.
Hello. Hello, Diogo.
I will just ask people to say hello. Q&A. I'm just saying we are online.
Okay. Are you based in Lisbon, Diogo?
Porto.
Porto, okay. And is Alberto still around?
Yeah, he's nearby in Braga.
Okay. And still involved in the organization?
Yeah, in a program.
Okay, I see.
Okay. Let's start then.
Okay, fine. How many people do we have?
I'm not sure because they are not answering. Okay, 3 viewers.
Okay.
Now they are joining because the link was not active until a few minutes ago. I'm not hearing you, Alfonso. I think your mic is
I'm here.
on. Oh. Okay.
I'm just silent.
It's okay. I thought you were.
I only see one person online. You see more?
It's in the down. It says 4 viewers.
Okay.
Okay, 5. Hello guys, if you are already there, we're just waiting for a bit, for 1 or 2 minutes to have everyone to explain how this is going to work out. Okay, hello Arnie. You can talk, sorry. If you want to say anything, you can type in the questions, but I will explain all of that in 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, I think we can start, and then from time to time we can explain things and how things are going to work out. So hello everyone, and thanks for joining. My name is Diogo, and we have the pleasure here to have Alfonso Aliberti from the European Youth Forum, who is the specialist in the European Youth Forum about Erasmus Plus grants. So the goal here is to, like in 1 hour, around 1 hour, to have a webinar on Erasmus Plus grants in order for you to better understand how they work, how to apply, when to apply, and if everything goes out well, for you to actually get a successful proposal and then to get funds from the European Commission. Alfonso will deliver a short presentation. The goal is for you to kind of understand and simplify the idea of the Erasmus Plus grants in order for you to understand which ones can you apply or you can't. But then the idea is for you to actually make questions. Alfonso is here ready to answer them. He actually prefers if you ask questions because it's usually easier to actually tackle your problems than trying to come up with all the problems that you may face in a presentation. In order to come up with questions, you have the questions and then answer part of the Hangouts. Then you can just paste wherever question you have, and Alfonso and I will try to help out. And now I think I'll give the space for Alfonso. He has a small presentation that he will show you also and explain. And feel free to interrupt and make questions. I'll be here, and if there's something that you want to ask during the presentation, Alfonso can try to explain that a little bit better. But then he will explain how we will pursue.
Okay, thanks a lot, Diogo, and thanks everyone for joining, and thanks you guys for inviting me to actually talk about the Erasmus Plus grants. So very shortly, as Diogo was saying, I have a short presentation that I'm going to launch in a minute, and I hope that you will be all able to see it. And this is to give you a general overview on the program. And then the idea is really to understand what kind of information you are looking for and engage in a kind of exchange with you to see what are the possibilities that you can explore in the Erasmus Plus program. So if you agree, I will start sharing the presentation. Please write on the question and answer anytime you want to actually ask something. If I miss any question, please, Diogo, raise it, since you have the power to speak in this Hangout. Okay, so I'm going to share the presentation. Can you see it? This is
Yes.
okay, great. So, and do you see also my face, or do you see only the presentation?
Only the presentation.
Okay, so uh, I will put it in a full screen. Probably it's better for you guys. Okay, I don't know if you see now that this is a full screen. Okay, I'm starting now. So the title of the presentation is Erasmus plus Youth in Action. Why Youth in Action? You will discover it in a second. That the Erasmus Plus is basically a sum of a number of previous EU programs that you might know or not. So basically, in 2014, a new program started, namely the Erasmus Plus, and this is actually the new education, training, and youth program of the European Commission that is made up of the Erasmus that everyone knows, so the mobility of higher education students, the Leonardo program, that is the vocation and training program of the EU, the Grundvik program, that actually was the adult education program of the EU, the Comenius program, it was the school, high school or general school mobility program of the EU, and the Youth in Action program. So the Youth in Action program is the one where we will be focusing more. So as you can see from this slide, there are a lot of resources. So there's been a big increase compared to the previous programs. And actually, this increase in the budget available will, in a way, show, especially as from 2017. But already this year, there is a considerable amount of resources available for the youth part of the Erasmus Plus. And in a second, I will try to tell you actually how you can use this at its best for the purposes of your national or even European organization. So this is what I was trying to explain, that before was a number of programs that now went under the umbrella of the Erasmus Plus. So the idea was to make this new program a place for a coherent place where to talk about learning mobilities, education, youth work, etc. So this is a bit about the budget. So as you can see, the youth part, that is the part of the budget that might interest you, as the 10% of the overall program. The biggest part is for education and training. And in education and training, you also have schools, universities, vocational education and training. So this might interesting you, might be relevant for you or not. But where I will be focusing the most now will be on the youth part of the program. So I will go directly to the priorities just for you to understand what the program aims at. So when it comes to the specific youth part, so the 10% that we saw before, because for each part you have specific priorities. Here, basically, what we want when we want to promote quality youth work. When we talk about youth work, we talk about spaces for young people to develop in a way, to learn something, skills in a very informal way. So outside formal educational settings in a way. So this, nevertheless, this educational dimension is very prominent in the overall Erasmus Plus, meaning that one of the first things that you should think when you develop your own project is what participants will learn from this project. And this is extremely important. So, uh, can you follow me, guys?
Yeah. Now, yes, I think the slides were kind of stopped,
Okay.
but now they are updating. Maybe if you don't use full view,
Okay, fine,
just
fine.
go on.
I won't use the full view. So it was just a check to see if you were following. So basically, as I was saying, one of the first thing you should think in all the Erasmus projects that you uh, want to work on is the educational dimension. So you should make sure that people attending or organization taking part in the project will learn something afterward. The other important thing is that actually the thing is that when you do a project, this should be a kind of participatory moment with your partners, with young people that you want to involve, etc. And this should be reflected in your applications. And I will go back really to the basics on how you apply for projects. This is just to give you a bit of the spirit philosophy that it's behind that. Uh, then, last but not least, when you conceive your project, you should look inside. So, the people that you will involve, the young people and the organization that you will involve as partners, but you should also think outside that circle, meaning how what you want to do in your project can be relevant for others that for a reason or another will not take part in your project, meaning that why the European Commission should invest on your project. And how can I say that? Let's put it in another way. How the investment on your projects is worth for the others, so for people that are not taking part in the project. So these are the main thing that you should think about when you want to develop whatever kind of projects in the framework of the Erasmus Plus. So the educational part is crucial, the participatory part is crucial, the how my project could be beneficial for others, for the other communities, for other group of young people that will not take part in the project. And of course, the added value, so something that others perhaps didn't think about, is the innovation. So these three aspects are crucial, but then the innovation part is very important, meaning that perhaps what you propose could be done also by others, but your project is unique because it provides a kind of innovation approach towards what you want to do. So these are very basic um, features or very basic elements that you should take in consideration when developing your projects. I'm going to go back to my slides. Sorry, guys. Okay. So let's go into the details of the program. Do you see the new slide? Hello?
About the budget breakdown.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. So basically, and well, this is a budget breakdown, but the interesting part about that is the division into three key actions. And I will go back to the details of each key action, but this gives you a bit of understanding of the architecture of the program. So basically, this huge educational program that actually has as its main feature the of people, young people, adults or teachers, etc. This mobility aspect is divided. I mean, they will do this through three main key actions. Key action one, that is the mobility, the individual mobility of young people or learners in general. Key action two, that is actually about the innovation aspects that you can bring uh, in the sector, cooperation and innovation. So how you cooperate with your peers or how you innovate in a specific field. And the key action three, that is the smallest, and is about how you can contribute to develop specific policies in your specific field. So basically, this promote dialogue between the civil society sector, that it's you guys and other youth NGOs or educational NGOs and so on and so forth, with decision makers at all levels, local level, regional level, national level, European level. And we will see in details how actually these can be done. So now we go to the specificities of the three key actions. So as I was saying, key action one is about learning mobility of individuals. So this is really about moving people. In our case, it's about moving young people. For what purposes? For trainings, for youth exchanges, for even staff exchanges of youth workers, or for European volunteer service. So basically, in the youth specific field, this is to organize seminars, trainings where you gather for 1 week, 10 days, 2 weeks, with at least 16 till 60 people in a specific place, and you discuss around a specific topic. And I will, if you want, I can give you more details about that after. The key action two, as I was saying, it's more about innovation, cooperation. So basically, um, uh, what you can do there is mainly as an organization. So it's not really as an individual, but it's rather as an organization. There, you actually want to promote the cooperation with other similar organization, not necessarily similar, or in general organization from which you can learn something, and then you can apply what you learned to your everyday work in your organizations. So that's why we talk about strategic partnership, innovation, cooperation, etc. And the key action three, again, is about policy dialogues. And it's the budget available there, it's relatively small, and therefore many organizations are interested in this specific key action, but as the budget is very small, the success rate is not so high. Nevertheless, it's worth exploring if you have a concrete project on policy development involving decision makers. So, how you apply for projects, and this is in a way, I'm not sure you can really read this slide. Can you?
Not sure, but I sent the presentation by email, and
Okay, fine.
and if they can't find it by email, if they go to Showcase, they have the link to the online presentation also. So it's for those that can't find it, it's just at the Showcase.
Okay, well, this describes very shortly the project cycle of Erasmus Plus. So when I say project cycle, I mean all the steps that you need to undertake in order to apply, get the grant, and report back. So basically, what you need to do, the first thing that you need to do is to get a peak number. Okay, what is a peak number? A peak number is a number that you need to identify on an online platform. It exists at an Erasmus Plus online platform where you register, you upload all the information about your organization, including statutes of your organization, if you have like a financial situation of your organization. So basically, they want to know details about your organization. You upload those documents, then they approve your registration and they give you a number. With this number, you can basically start doing whatever you need to do within the Erasmus Plus world, meaning that with that you can download project application forms. You can actually join other projects as partners, because even if you want to be a partner in a project, you need to have a peak number. So this is really, really the basic that you need to get. And without that, you can not be involved at all in any of the opportunities offered by the program. Then you get your peak number. You already have a great idea of a project. You already identified the key action you want to apply for, but you cannot really apply alone. You need partners to apply for your project. So you start looking for partners. Partners usually should come from different countries. The basic rule but is that you need to have at least 4 partners from 4 different countries. And this rule may change according to the different key actions you apply for. But this again, if you are interested, please write on the Q&A session and I will answer the specific questions. So basically, you start putting together a partnership. You describe the project to your partners. You collect ideas from them. And basically, you consolidate your initial idea or project together with your partners. Then, of course, before the deadline, you need to put this amazing ideas that you have in an application form that you can download from the website of your national agency. In each EU country, you have at least one national agency, and using your peak, you can download the application form. And then you fill in the application form. You need to reply to a number of questions, including the one that the elements that I pointed out at very start of the presentation. What are the educational dimension of your project activities, the participatory part, how this will benefit others, and so on and so forth. So basically, you fill in this. You ask your partners for a kind of a mandate. This is how they call the partnership agreement for the Erasmus Plus, that all your partners need to sign. So you upload this on the form, and then you submit your proposal before the deadline. After more or less 1-2 months, this depends on the country, you will get the results. And if you are successful, you will be informed and you will receive information on how to finalize the contract with your national agency. So the national agency will send you the contract. You need to read the contract in detail, sign the contract, and then the national agency will send you money on the bank account of your organization, and you can start the implementation. At the end of the project, of course, you need to report back. And usually you report back only on a narrative way. as the resources that you receive for most Erasmus Plus project are given on a so-called unit cost flat rate basis, meaning that our estimation of costs that you might incur as organization to organize that specific activity or that specific set of activities. So they estimate that your project costs 10,000 euros, and therefore they give you the 10,000 euros. But they don't want to know if you actually spend the whole 10,000 euros or not, as long as you do exactly what you wrote in the application. So this is more or less the principle, but then I'm very happy to answer your questions on that. Um, do you want that we stop for a second for general question at this point, or you prefer that I go into the details of each key action? I don't have in front of me the question, the Q&A
No,
table.
there's no questions so far, but do you prefer to go through all of them and then ask your questions, or to stop now and ask general things? Please say something at the questions part.
Are you asking participants?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if they react.
But I think it's probably easier if they go through all the key actions.
Okay, fine. I will go on. Okay. This slide is very easy and simple. You basically have the eligible countries of the program, that it's EU member state plus a number of non-EU countries that are called non-EU program countries. So basically, as a general rule, you can involve all those countries in your projects, even though there are some exceptions. Actually, with the Balkans and with some specific key actions that allows you to do activities also outside Europe. So even in third countries. So if you have cooperation with other organizations in South America rather than Asia or Africa, you can still use some of the opportunities offered in the Erasmus Plus program. Well, what I wanted to tell you guys, and in a way also reassure you, I know that it's very difficult in 1 hour to explain you the program, but I want to reassure you on the fact that the program is extremely accessible. And even if at the first glance you might have the impression that it's extremely complicated, and in a way it is, then when you start to get familiarized with it, you realize that you can very easily navigate the program and very easily take advantage of it. So in a way, in order really to using the program in a successful way, you need to start applying. This is the secret. You start applying and you learn really a lot of things. And if you are good, you are successful already from the first application you submit, and see it as a real learning process in a way. But believe me, it's not at all impossible. I would say that it's even kind of easy. Okay, we go then to the specific key actions. I will start from the first one, that is key action 1, the mobility, the mobility of young people and youth workers. So basically what you can do with that, you can do youth exchanges. You probably know what a youth exchange is. Basically, a youth exchange is an activity that lasts from 5 to 21st days excluding the travel time, taking place in the country of one of the partners applying for the project. And actually it has between 16 and 60 participants, plus the group leaders, and it involves at least four different countries. So basically, you need at least four young people per country to have the minimum uh, eligible number of participants. The age is between 13 and 30 years old, even though for the group leaders there is no age limit. So uh, when you do a youth exchange, you can basically tackle whatever topic you want to tackle. I don't know in details what is the work that you carry out on a every day on a daily basis, but I imagine that you are concerned about health issues, or I don't know. Diogo might help me on that. But what I mean is that you can really explore uh, uh, different topics as long as you do it in an educational way, meaning that participants learn something from that, and from the fact of being together in a participatory way. So you can really go creative with the youth exchanges, as long as you respect the basic requirements I just mentioned. Then you have sorry.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
For example, IFMSA is a really big network of exchanges which works internationally in more than 100 countries.
Okay.
But most of the participants, I would say like around 50% are from Europe, but they can either go to Europe or to America or Africa and so on. But for example, each month, it's 1 month exchange is usually for clinical internships.
Okay.
In the hospital. During the day, and during the night there's always social and cultural programs organized by the local committees.
Okay.
For example, would these in any way be eligible for these? Because, for example, there's some cities that have from 20 to 40 participants, but they can be from anywhere in the world.
So basically, a youth exchange is not really you cannot really fit the activity you are describing in a youth exchange, because a youth exchange is a mobility of a group of young people, and in your case, that are going in one place. In your case, you have individuals that are moving for an internship, or I don't know, a training or an educational activity, but on an individual base. This might be eligible, but in other parts of the program, do you think that the educational activity that young people that you support do can be seen under the vocational education and training, or not?
I think so, because it's extra, so it's not part of our curriculum in the university. Is something extra organized by our organization in order to practice a bit more, or to find out which specialty.
And do you usually have the support from the university?
Yes.
I mean, do the university support your program?
Yeah, most of them. There's also research which happens in the university, and some of them actually recognize these and then implement these also in their curricula.
Okay, so in my opinion, you should explore the mobility project for VET learners, where you basically, I'm going to give you the details, guys. Huh? Sorry for.
VET stands for
Vocation and education and training.
Okay.
So, the okay. I think that this is the one that you should use. He trying to involve. It's still in key action one, but it's not under the umbrella of the youth uh, sector, the one
Mhm.
that I was explaining you at the beginning, but it's rather under the umbrella of education and training. Even though you have, the social activities in the night, etc., etc., but your young people are going to a place to learn in a kind of, formal education or training way, and not in a non-formal education setting. So there is possibility, but you need to explore the key action one in the vocational education and training. If you want, I can send you separate information on that.
Okay. I think that
But
will be
definitely,
good.
definitely, and to do so, you need in that case to build partnership, formal partnership. What I was telling to you, this story of the partnership agreement mandate with the universities or
Yeah.
even with the research centers, where with the hosting organizations where you send your students.
And would that be more feasible for IFMSA to apply as the international organizer, or for each national organization to apply for the part they organize nationally?
No, you can coordinate that, meaning that it's better if you apply as international, and you say as an international, I will send two people from Portugal to Italy, three from Italy to Germany, two from Germany to France, etc. So
Mhm.
that you put everything under a big umbrella of a project.
Okay. Now just a few questions that were made.
Yes.
I think the part about the exchanges is covered, but Arnie, tell me if it isn't and write the question again, please. Okay. There was one doubt from Croatia
Yes.
about the youth exchanges, because we have the exchanges that we talked about, but we have also some independent activities. Um, for example, we can sometimes organize twinning between two countries, or an
Uh-huh.
activity in a specific country, for example, for 4 or 5 days about sexual and reproductive health. And there's
Yeah.
people from all parts of Europe. Would
Yeah.
this be something considered a youth exchange, or is eligible
Yes.
for that?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. As long as you have minimum 16 participants from at least four different countries and minimum four participants per country, and the activities last minimum 5 days.
Minimum 5 days. Okay.
Yes. So if you have that, so this is the legal requirement, let's say. Then when it comes to the contents of the project, you should focus more on the non-formal education aspect of what you want to give to the participants. So, I mean that if you propose a conference where you have formal presentation with high-level experts or professors coming to your event, this will not be funded under the youth part of the program. That's for sure.
Mhm.
But if you say, I want to prepare my participants to actually, that they already know in a way the basic of sexual and health reproduction, as you said. I don't remember. But anyway, of this topic, I want to prepare them to be kind of multipliers in their communities. And to do so, I will train them on how to present this in a nice, funny way that can, have an impact on young people in their communities and so on and so forth. So to focus more on the non-formal part of what you want to do. I don't know if I was clear.
Yeah, I think so.
So if you do that, it works. If you rather focus on formal education, you might explore other parts of the program and not the youth part.
Okay. Okay, I think we can move on. I think this part is
Okay, fine. So then I was saying EVS, European Voluntary Service. I think you are, what is it, and it's also funded under the Key Action One. You basically write a project as you want to, to host EVS. To do so, it's a bit more complicated, meaning that if you want to start to engage with the EVS people, you really need to think more in long term because you need to have an accreditation as a EVS hosting organization or EVS sending organization. This accreditation makes sure that basically you are able to provide, quality programs to your EVS. But I don't know if you are interested in that. If you are, well, we can go more into the details. Otherwise, there is training networking for youth workers, and this is, let's say, a bit more elaborated than the youth exchanges, meaning that this is focusing on the youth leaders or people that, like in your organizations, guys, you have the youth leaders, and this is more about building their capacities as youth leaders, how they can involve more young people, how they can build their capacity to make the messages of your organization to pass, or even to do kind of job shadowing of a couple of weeks or even few months in another organization in another country to learn how other organization manage themselves, and do their work. So this is perhaps important for you, and you might consider it, but it's more at the level of youth leaders. Deadlines. So one of the deadlines was today, midday. So it's a bit too short to apply. And then you will have another deadline on the 26th of April and 4th of October. Deadlines change every year, meaning that, I mean, they might change or not, but it's worth checking the program guide of the Erasmus Plus every year, basically, because they might change. I will send you also the link of the program guide if I haven't done it. So, or Diogo, if you have it, the link, please share it with the participants.
I sent it on the email also, but I will share everything afterwards again.
Okay, that's fine. Then we go to key action 2. So, guys, I will be very bland with you because I think that, I mean, this is the spirit, meaning that we should talk about the opportunities. This key action 2, it's a wonderful initiative. On in principle, it allows you really to go creative and to propose any kind of thing you want. There are good resources available for each project, but what I can tell you is that it's extremely, and when I say extremely, difficult to get grants in that. So if you are new in the Erasmus Plus, don't engage on your own in this key action. Rather, try to be part of existing partnerships of organizations or consortium of organizations that will apply to that. So that you in this way you can get the experience on how manage this kind of projects. So how you do that, how you look for partners, or how you propose yourself as a partner. Go on your national agency website. In each EU country you have at least one national agency, and look for results of key action 2 projects, and look at the organization that were successful. So those organizations are very well experimented or experienced organization. Contact them and propose yourself for potential partnerships. I mean, this is an advice that I give you, and uh, uh, of course you can try applying, but what I can tell you is that the success rate so far is very small. It might change in next years as the budget of the Erasmus Plus will go really massively up. So they might have more resources, therefore they might fund more projects. So basically here you can really go creative and even produce publications, even small researches. So you can really propose professional projects that are made of different kind of activities, exchanges, perhaps seminars, conferences, and then working groups and stuff like that. So you can really propose something that is more structured, and it goes beyond youth exchange or another kind of short-term or long-term individual mobility. Nevertheless, what might interest you is the second part of this slide, that is the capacity building in the field of youth. Why? Because this is only open to youth organizations, on the contrary of the first point. And this is to actually do projects with other regions in the world. So what I was saying before, like South America, Africa, Asia, and so on and so forth. And this is really funding only youth organizations. So in a way, it's worth exploring it. There are 2 deadlines, and even there, you can go creative as long as in your project you promote or you try to increase cooperation between European youth organizations and youth organizations in other part of the world. And of course, you need to do this around a kind of common topic that you can easily identify, especially in your sector, that health, it has there is a strong focus on health at a global level. So you should explore that possibility. Okay. Yes.
Also, just before moving on, there's a question from Stony. It's related to the key action number 1.
Okay.
So Preet from Estonia, she wanted to know whether the first key area can be used to fly trainers from other countries into national general assemblies or national trainings. For example, bringing people from IFMSA to national general assemblies in order to promote IFMSA and international work.
Well, I should be frank. No, we said we are frank. This usually doesn't work. Okay. Because they don't want that with a project, you cover in a way that you use the project to cover travels of your participants to the General Assembly.
No. It's not as that. It's more as, for example, I have the national National General Assembly here in Portugal
Okay.
with Portuguese medical students. But
Okay.
then they are not that involved in international stuff. So I would like to have the president of IFMSA, which could be
Okay.
from Germany, to be here to promote more engagement in international stuff. And that probably be into the, I don't know, the youth leaders, to promote youth leaders, and then to be
Yes.
something.
Yes, it's possible, but you need to comply with the basic requirements. So, what are the basic requirements? When it comes to the youth exchanges, you need to have a group of minimum 16 people for minimum 5 days, coming minimum from 4 countries that are part of a coherent project. And this is for, let's say, normal young people taking part in a youth exchange. When it comes on the youth workers mobility, you have different rules, and this might in a way be relevant for you. So basically you can use it, uh, and actually there is no age limit, and there are minimum 2 days to 2 months, and actually there is no minimum number of participants. It's up to 50 participants. But this depends a lot on the type of project that you propose, meaning that this mobility of youth workers can be like one person going for 2 months to learn how another organization is working, or 5, 10 youth leaders going for 2 days to learn something from an organization that can be international relations. So yes, it is possible in
Okay.
this sense.
Okay. Thank you very
But
much.
again, guys, one of the principles I told you at the beginning is there is this educational dimension, participatory dimension, and how this will benefit the others. So
Mhm.
what you should highlight is that giving the possibility to these few people to go 2 days, 3 days to your General Assembly will benefit a huge community of young people in your universities. So
Yeah. Okay.
they should see an added value in giving money to your project, not only for the purpose of your organization, but in general, for also going beyond that.
Okay. Makes sense. Thank you. I think it's clear now. But if Preet has another question, he will just email me and I will post it here.
Okay. Okay, so I go to the key action 3. So key action 3, I was telling you at the beginning that there is a few budget for that, and this is also a kind of, in a way, competitive, uh, but you can use this if you have, concrete ideas or projects on how to engage with policymakers. Uh, I, I mean, I can give you the example again of health laws discussed in different countries, and you as medical students association, you want to engage on this specific topic with decision makers, and what this impact may have on students, on young people, or on the general public. So this is a concrete thing that you can propose in a project. Whereas if you I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is that in this case, it doesn't work a lot to go very, very creative, because there is not a lot of resources, and they really fund organizations that they can propose concrete actions with policy makers and decision makers. So if you have that, then go for it. But if you don't have it and you are, trying to building it up, I mean, I wouldn't suggest to do so. But it's an interesting action because actually it allows you also to organize more formal conferences where you can invite politicians. I guess also deans of universities and these kind of political people in general. So that's more or less it. Then for the details, I mean, you just check the program guide, and you actually have all the details. If you want, I can give you the details right now. But
I have a general question, because I think
yes,
this is an important topic for our associations. Because,
yes,
for example, FMSA got a operating grant here, which
yes,
is
but it's not this one, Diogo. I mean, it's called Key Action 3, but the Key Action 3 we are presenting here are part of the rolling calls that you find in the program guide. Whereas the Key Action 3 that you are describing, it's an operating grant that goes every year as a call for proposal. What year in the slide I put other centralized call for proposals. But please go ahead with the question so that I can answer.
So this one would be more focused on, because my question was, our operating grant is more focused on our old strategy for policy, like the meetings that we go to, meetings we have in order to prepare the external meetings we go to, for example, our board meetings and so on. And we got a grant for around 30,000 euros. But for example, most of our national associations, they also have this in a national scale. They have meetings with the government, deans, and so on. And that could be similar to what I'm talking here. But then they also have conferences, like congresses about medical education, about this disease or that. Would these conferences be the best key action? Would be this one?
So we should make a difference with the operating grant. So the operating grant it exists only at the European level. And I'll give you some background. I mean, just because the rationale behind is that as a European organization is in a way a European Union duty to allow you in a way to function, because you bring a European added value as organization. At the national level, this is a national duty, meaning that in some countries you have national funds that allows the operational costs of an organization. I mean, long story short, the operating grant, it's only existing at the European level, and at the national level you cannot use this to support your statutory meetings. What you can use this for, is you do your statutory meeting with your own resources or national resources or wherever you find your resources, and you can use these resources of Key Action 3 to organize a national event with the Ministry of Health, your constituencies, other policymakers around a health issue. This you can do, but you cannot organize your General Assembly.
And what are the basic requirements for this? For the national one, to apply as a national organization.
So you mean this one at national level?
Yeah.
So you should actually have even here you can go, meaning that there are different formats. The idea is that you engage in a policy dialogue with decision makers. Then this can be done with a different setting of activities. You say, I will organize a conference, then I will organize 5 focus groups with young people to discuss about this and that. Then we will have some recommendation that we will present during this conference that we organize with the Ministry of Health, blah blah blah. So, and when it comes to the minimum requirements, uh, you must have minimum 30 young participants involved in the process between 13 and 30 years old. The project should last at least 3 months and maximum 24 months. But then when it comes to the activities, you can do both national meetings or transnational international meetings. If you propose international meetings, you need to, to have more this kind of international European dimension, and it should be at least 2 organizations from 2 different countries. Uh, Otherwise, you can just do it at national level. So as a national organization, if in your country they are going to discuss something that is very relevant for your organization, you can propose a project where you involve minimum 30 young people to discuss decision makers on that specific legislative process or policy process going on in that country. So it's quite big, or it's you can explore that.
Just a small detail. You said that the minimum time is 3 months.
Yes, 3 months, but we are not talking about an event that lasts 3 months. We are talking about the project, the process. So let's say in Portugal,
about it and designing it and implementing it, right?
Yeah, but I mean implementing it, because the designing it you already do it before applying or when we're applying. I'll give you an example. In Portugal, you know that in 6 months' time they are going to start a discussion on a new law on universities, or a new law on health system. Okay, so you know that. So you, for the deadline of the 26th of April, you apply for a project. In this project, you say, as from September, we are involving 30 young people, 1 per each university in Portugal, or medical or faculty in Portugal, 2 per each medical faculty in Portugal, to have meetings every I don't know, 3 weeks to discuss how they would see this law developing and in what direction this is going. Then after 3 meetings, they will have recommendations, and these recommendations will be presented to the ministry in a conference in December. So you started having discussions with young people in September, and you do a conference in December. And this is 4 months project, you see?
Okay.
In this sense, minimum 3 months.
Okay, but so is there any possibility of having funds for a meeting of lasting for a weekend, for example?
Yeah. As long as I said, this one, if you want to have possibilities to get funds, you really need to link it to something that would lead to policy results.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
So even if it's policies within universities or at local authorities level, but you need to link it to this. They will not fund you if you say we are organizing a conference to develop medical students association policy on XYZ. They will not. But if you
Okay.
say a medical students association has this coherent set of activities to engage with policymakers in the discussion on this specific political dossier that involves health, public health, or whatever, you might have possibilities to get grants.
Okay, thank you. So we have
You're
two
welcome.
questions here. One is
Yes.
from Preet from Estonia again. He
Mhm.
was asking if there is any need from people from other countries or minimal participants for this policy reform.
No, it depends. For this policy reform, you have two types of activities. You have the international, transnational activities, where you need at least two organizations from two countries, minimum 30 young people. There is not minimum number of participants per each country, but of course, it's better to keep a balance, because if you have two countries taking part in the process, in the project, and you have 30 participants, if you have 29 participants from one country and one from the other country, they will not give you the grant because it's not balanced, you see.
Okay. And the last one, the national funds that you're talking, they are provided by national agencies.
Yes, I mean, I forget to say this at the beginning, but more than 80% of the overall amount of Erasmus Plus money is managed at the national agencies level. So in most cases, you guys, you will be dealing with national agencies. So if you want to do a UFEC change, you apply in the national agency of the organization putting forward the project. You see?
Okay.
Normally. So in most cases, you deal with national agencies. You don't deal with national agencies in this case in the key action 2 capacity building in the field of youth. You apply to the executive agency level, where you actually International Federation of Medical Students Association applies for the operating grant. But for all the rest, you apply at the national agency level.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's no more questions. Was the presentation finished already, or?
I mean, the presentation, yes, but I'm still here. And the idea, as I said at the beginning, was really to have a general framework of what are the opportunities out there, and to leave the space to people to ask questions. I don't know, is it complicated to put together a budget, or what kind of administrative work is required from our side? I mean, I'm just putting, question there. So I would leave to the participants to ask things, or to actually tell me on which aspects of the programs they are interested in, so that I can explore that more.
Okay, so then it's moment for questions and doubts, guys. Alfonso knows a lot about this, so use this opportunity wisely and ask all your questions. Even if you are like thinking about one specific activity, this may be the moment to understand what's the best option. In the meanwhile, because there's a delay between the Hangouts on air and your transmission, I will ask a question. Alfonso, how many candidatures can we make? Can we make one for each key action, or is just
There is
one?
no limit. There is no limit.
For any,
So,
can we 3 candidatures for key action 1?
Yeah, you can candidate for all the projects you want.
But even 2 for the same key action, is that okay and possible to be accepted?
It's okay. Of course, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no limit.
Okay, that's good
But
then.
even if so, where is IFMSA legally based?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. So if you want to apply to a key action one as IFMCA, you need to apply to the Netherlands. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you are smart, you apply with one project to the Netherlands, and then you pick or you agree with one of your members uh, to apply for another project in another country. You see what I mean? So that
Mhm.
you diversify the national agencies you are working with and you increase your success rate. But this means that then the project, legally speaking, it's not managed by IFMCA, I mean the contract, but by your member. But then, I mean, this is an internal arrangement you can make with your member to see actually how the project will be implemented. But use your network.
Yeah.
If you know that in a country the national agency is very keen to fund project on issues that you work on, go there. Use the members that you have in that specific country and apply there. Or even no one's, and again, this is not official information, but no one's prevents you to apply exactly with the same project in different countries. You see what I mean?
Even if that project is happening in a specific country.
No, you can have the same project. I mean, basically the same narrative of the project that you apply in Spain, you apply in France through your members. So if you coordinate yourself with your members, you can increase your success rate. Especially because what you should consider is that who is evaluating your projects are human beings, and they are not the same in every country. And you would be surprised by the differences in points in evaluations that you might receive with the same project evaluated by different people. And I mean, these are some tips, hints, behind the scene. That's the reality.
Yeah,
So
of course.
think in this way. Uh, use your network. You have a huge network. Use it. Uh, so that's the advice I can tell you. I can give you.
Okay. So we have another question
Yes.
from Croatia. To recap, from the moment you apply to the moment we have the final confirmation of getting or not getting the grant, how much time is it usually?
Usually it's I would say 2 months. Then it depends on the national agencies. There are some national agencies that are slower than the others. But anyway, when you apply for a project, so in front of me, I have the key action one. Let's say you do a key action one project, right? So you apply on the 2nd of February, today, and projects must start or must be implemented between, wait a second because I don't remember it by heart. Just a sec, guys. Okay, here we go. So, should, oh, it's not the right one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm coming. I said the capacity, sorry, the effect change. Okay, you apply today, and your project should be implemented between, oh, where is it? Oh, I don't remember it by heart. I'm coming. Here we go. Between 1st of May and 30 of September of the same year, meaning that you will receive anyway the decision before the 1st of May. And you should start your project. So you apply today, you receive anyway the decision and also all the contracting stuff before the 1st of May, unless there are administrative problems in your national agency. And you can start, legally speaking, your project between 1st of May and 30 of September of the same year. This doesn't mean that the project needs to finish in the 30th of September, but needs to start. Because if your project lasts 12 months or 18 months, of course, it goes far beyond the 30th of September. Does this answer your question?
I think so, but it was not mine exactly. But I think so.
No, of Osijek.
Well, I have no more questions.
Yes.
I don't think the viewers have other questions also. So I think
I have some suggestions. So
yep.
There are a cycle of videos that are very, very useful, and they have been produced by, it's a MOOC. It's MOOC? Yeah, I think this is the English word, MOOC. Organized or funded by national agencies, and this specifically on the youth part of the Erasmus Plus. So I can give you one link, and then you will look all the other videos, because I think there are several on different topics that we also tackle today. This specific one,
if it's the one shared with me, I posted it on the Q&A and on the showcase. So
okay, I'm going to. Can I put it on the
your
chat?
computer? Yeah, it's there already.
Okay, I put another one that is on the youth exchange. So it gives you some ideas what you can do, what you cannot do, and stuff like that. And there are also for other things, like how you conceive a good project and stuff like that. I can tell you that they are very nicely done, and they are very, very useful. So if you have some time, have a look at them. And also, through Diogo, don't hesitate to contact me. And also, if you look for partners and stuff like that, do that. I mean, contact me. I can help you in finding partners as well. Because one of the things that they also like is that you have different kind of partners, and not only same kind of organization taking part in a project.
Okay, thank you very much, Alfonso.
You're welcome, guys.
I think it was a really, really good presentation, and at least all my doubts are clear now, and I hope the ones that attended the webinar too.
I hope it was not so too much confusing. I did my best to keep it simple.
But I will share this webinar and the material with all of you. But in case you have more doubts or you remember anything later, as Alfonso said, just drop me an email and I can contact Alfonso or put you in touch. And then I think everything will be solved quickly. So thank you very much. Thank you a lot to you, Alfonso, especially, and for being available at this time that I know that in Brussels is 7:30 p.m. already. Thank you a lot, and I hope this webinar was useful. Thank you a lot, and bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you. Obrigado. Ciao.
Bye-bye.